Good evening. Welcome to Greenwatch, your locally produced progressive political and social affairs program. I'm your host, Brian Harrison. Well, the ballots have been finalized and political signs are already going out. It's election season in Houston. That's our topic tonight. We are joined by a couple of city council candidates, and we're going to be talking about the important issues that face this city during this campaign. With us tonight is Deb Shafto. She is running for the Houston City Council at-large position number 4. Why are you running, Council?
I think that the city needs to pay more attention to the less fortunate. I think we have a crisis of community, if you will. I think we need to develop communities and get people to stand together. With the budget crisis and all the other kinds of things that are going on, if we don't stand together, life is going to get very hard.
What experiences make you qualified to be on City Council?
I've been a civics watcher, government watcher for a long, long time. I've looked into a lot of issues. Particularly the issues of children and their welfare have been dear to my heart for many, many years. I've been a primary school teacher, and I'm interested that the city works for everybody.
You think that there's a lot of money in local elections, and that's a problem?
When you see somebody spending all that kind of money after a job that pays so little, you've got to assume that there's fringe benefits that aren't on the table. There are a few, I am sure, who run with altruistic reasons, but I'm suspicious of the amount of money that's spent on these races.
What is City Council missing? I mean, City Council, there's a lot of money in the campaign, so they're not missing money on the campaigns. But what is Council missing, and what do you think you can bring to it?
I think it's missing a sense of the importance of taking care of the opposite end of the financial spectrum than usually gets taken care of. The federal government, of course, did this huge bailout, so the wealthy shouldn't suffer at all. But the underprivileged are having a very bad time. Even those who have had jobs and felt they were secure in their jobs for a long time are now having a really bad time because of the swindles about how, from the banking industry. People are losing houses, health care. People are having to declare bankruptcy because of they're having an illness in the family. And I've heard, I believe it's true too, that the majority of homelessness happens when a child gets ill and the parents have to choose between having the child get a medicine or paying the rent. And the next month it doesn't get any easier, and then they're out.
You're running on a joint ticket called the Progressive Ticket.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, I guess the three of us, Alfred Mollison is also running. He couldn't be here tonight, but he is running with us. And we have known each other for many years and decided sort of independently to do this. I think one of the best things that could happen to this city is if all three of us got on the council. There's
two ways you can get on the ballot. $500 fee, or you collect a certain number of signatures. For me,
okay,
if I'm picking between $500 and going out and getting 500 signatures, I'm going to have to think about that. I'm going to have to dip into my wallet.
Really?
So why did you choose petition?
I think it's the way to go. First of all, you get to talk to people, to listen to them. When you're not just jamming a petition in front of their face and asking them for a signature, they want to know what you stand for. And I think it's a good interchange between me and the people that I hope will vote for me to express what I think and what I feel and believe, and listen to what they want to hear too, see what is important to them. It's part of running for office that I wouldn't miss. I mean, even if there were no fee and no petitioning that needed to be done, I would want to be out there on the street asking people, what do you want to see? What do you want to hear? What would you like to see happen? You have to have something to say that resonates with people. Mm-hmm. And it's through that I've picked up a lot of these ideas about what we need to do to make community.
I want to turn now to some of the issues that are facing the city. Deb, what is Houston's biggest problem in your mind?
Oh, there are a couple of issues fighting for the biggest. One is, of course, a budget shortfall. And another is pollution. I mean, it's not going to do us any good to be rolling in money if we're gasping our last breaths here. And there has not, with all the medical schools and facilities in Harris County, there has been no study of what the pollution actually does to your health. And we need to do that study, and we need to take remedial action.
What's your vision on how Houston should grow?
Transportation, for one. Moving into third place in the size of cities is an absurd proposition for us because we have no public transportation. We are not going to be able to depend on cars and gasoline and that kind of thing and the fumes they put out. I mean, if you live in New York, owning a car is a detriment. You don't want to because you can get anywhere you need to by public transportation and it's reasonable. We need to have a situation like that here, and everybody who lives here knows that you must have a car. Oil is becoming more scarce and more expensive. The pollution is a distinct detriment to the quality of life in our city, and we need to replan, take a look, perhaps even block by block, about what makes sense for different parts of the city, so that older areas don't just degenerate, so that younger, newer areas are not just occupied by the wealthy in a small gated enclave. I mean, that kind of stuff just really drives me nuts. Gated enclaves in an open city?
Yeah, right now, as it stands, developers and people that own property can essentially do whatever they want with them. I mean, they can tear down a single-family dwelling and build 6 or 7 different townhomes on that same property. Should we continue to function in that way, or should we look for a different way of business?
It's been one of my pet peeves. We in Texas hold that our property is our property and I can do with it whatever I please, and that's been the law. But what about everybody else's property? I mean, don't we have to make these decisions as a community? Don't the people whose backyards the apartments in the Ashby high-rise are going to look down into, don't they have something to say about it too? These people spend a lot of time and a lot of money on their homesteads, and they bought in an area where they could enjoy their backyards. And now they're going to have, what, somebody looking down on them from the 10th floor, the 15th floor, all the traffic, all the noise. I don't think we do have a right to just do whatever we please. I think it has to be getting back to community. These things should be a community decision. And if 70% or whatever percent they decide of the community says no, no, that's it. A majority should, at least a majority should rule. Thank you.
Well, this development is also, it's untenable just from an infrastructure standpoint because the city's got to invest heavily in improving the infrastructure or else it'll crumble from the excessive use.
Absolutely. And that goes for not just parking, but water. And we are on very fragile soil here. The whole landscape of Houston is sort of just a river delta that sort of flows along. I don't know how they expect to put up a building that will stand up that long without going down very, very, very deep. And you hit the water table.